Located just off the 71 freeway, Bikram Yoga Chino Hills is a great way to work out and relieve stress. The studio is owned by Alicia Brodie and Erik Meaders, both of whom possess years of experience with hot yoga. Brodie is a certified level 3 original Hot Yoga Association teacher who gained her credentials in 2004. Meaders also teaches hot yoga in the studio and has studied it for 16 years. He and his brother Erik also co-own Pacific Cryo, a cryotherapy business located within the studio. And with that, let's take a look at behind the scenes with each instructor.
Well, we opened up in 2015, and honestly, I was really dragging my feet about opening a studio of my own. I had been a full-time teacher for like 12 years, 13 at that point. And when I moved down to Chino Hills, my husband was complaining about how long we had to drive to go to yoga. So he's like, we gotta open a studio. So we did, and of course, I love it. Now I really love it. I just knew when I did my first Bikram yoga class that this was the thing for me that I needed, because it conditions your whole body, inside and out, your organs, glands, internal systems, but it does everything. And I was kind of getting to that age where I had some friends that were like, oh, I have to start exercising because I had trouble getting out of the bathtub. And I'm like, that's not gonna be me. So that's what really inspired me to start doing it. When I did it, I knew it was perfect. It did everything I needed, and I would be healthy into my old age if I kept doing it. Bikram has a specific series of postures, and it's designed as kind of a conditioning system. It doesn't vary from day to day. It starts with most of the class, like 45-50 minutes of standing up postures, which are they're very hard. They get your heart rate up really high. It's actually, you carry a high heart rate throughout class. So we do about 45 minutes, 50 in my class, of standing up postures, and then there's a little tiny break for like 2 minutes. We lay down, and after that we do floor postures, and they're a little less strenuous, but by that time your heart rate's really high. But the process of class builds up your oxygen levels, so when you leave class, you're not depleted. Your blood and tissue oxygen levels are higher than when you came to class. So it does, after you leave, it makes you feel good for the day. It gives you energy. I feel like the best thing you can do before you start, really, because it's designed for beginners, and not because it's easy for beginners, but because you really get all the main benefits of the postures in the very first step. So even people who can barely do anything will get to their edge in step 1, and that's enough to get the benefit. For a couple of days beforehand, drink twice as much water as you usually drink, because the hardest thing when people are new is getting used to the heat, but also most people don't drink enough water and are like slightly dehydrated, so it can give you a headache and make you feel a little draggy and be a little tougher on your first class. Other than that, all you need is a yoga mat, a towel, and some water, and just come in and do it. Every class you take is a big accomplishment. Like, you've really accomplished some good physical fitness from taking a Bikram yoga class. So I really want them to feel proud of themselves and like they've made a big accomplishment by taking class. The other thing I want them to feel is calmer, because that's kind of the secret in Bikram yoga. We don't talk about it a lot in class, but it does give you a lot of mental peace and serenity. So I want people to leave class with that, feeling like they've really kicked their own ass, they've done a good job, and just feeling calmer and more centered.
Well, cryotherapy is the use of extreme cold to help the body aid in healing. It takes inflammation out your body and it controls pain management. So we have normal people, and then we have athletes that use it. So it just depends on which spectrum you fall on, but it helps everybody. Okay, a session is 3 minutes. The temperatures go down to negative 125 Celsius. So you have to really concentrate on your breathing, which is interesting. Of course, in your first session, you're not going to do that because you'd wind up kicking the door down and running out the chamber. But as you get more experience and control your breathing and learn what you're going to go through, that's how cold you get. And it's very interesting. I used to be a cage fighter, and I was 30 years old, and I was getting real stiff. I was a lot bigger. You know, you start lifting, you're gonna go fight, so you stay a little bigger. And I was down the street from Bikram Yoga headquarters, and everybody was talking about Bikram, so I wanted to go see how he was, and I did my first class, and it kicked my butt. You know, I really have to say, when I was younger, I might have been a little more high strung, and when I found Bikram Yoga, it really started me on a path of calming down my life, and for me, it was a lifesaver to have found Bikram Yoga. The course of 90 minutes is always the best, in my opinion, but the 60 minutes, it switches it just to a little more physical. It's a little more cardio, because we actually keep the same 26 postures. We just go a lot quicker, and the savasana is a little less. So you're moving quick, and it increases your cardio. And a lot of people like it because we have it early morning, 5:30 to 6:30, so they can get it in before they start their day. And so that's why the 60 minutes came, just so people can actually implement it into their life before they take their kids to school or before they go to work. And the hot hit is just a 45-minute pure cardio muscle building exercise. If you're thinking about yoga, if you've ever thought about yoga, grab some water, drink, come down. Because if you're thinking about yoga at all, or if you just maybe I should do it, that's your body trying to get to a state of peace. So just don't think about it, don't find the perfect time. Just grab some water, drink, come down to a yoga studio and enjoy.